interceptions in this game for San Francisco, and the Ravens go into the Bay and win it 33-19. Now, coming into this game, Brock Purdy was the odds-on favorite, according to ESPN Bet, to win the MVP. Look at it now. Lamar, minus 200. Chris McCaffrey goes up to second. Again, Purdy entered the night minus 250. He's now 10-1.
Here's a couple of other numbers you want to know. These are team-wise. Baltimore maintains the pace to be the #1 overall seed in the AFC. Remember, that's crucial because, remember, only one team will get a bye in each conference. And the MVP award may go to Lamar, but it should go to the NFL schedule makers because the Dolphins are playing the Ravens in 6 days. We can hardly wait for that. That will likely decide how the AFC seeding will be won. Back inside as soon as Harbaugh, Lamar, Brock, Shanahan, McCaffrey hit the podium. You'll hear it here live on SportsCenter. Let's start, though, with Lamar. 252 through the air, 45 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, and sorry, 49ers, most importantly, no picks. What did you see from him, as Michael says, continuing to burnish his MVP candidacy?
Well, when you look at Lamar Jackson, he's always going to be compared to his initial MVP year. So he's not necessarily facing his contemporary or his peers. But tonight it was about winning the football game. And when the game was tight, we saw Lamar Jackson go above and beyond the X's and O's. When you get into these big-time matchups, Coach Tomlin would call them A-player games. Your A players have to step up. And that's what Lamar Jackson did. There were plays tonight where he was the best player on the entire field, and that didn't matter if it was Fred Warner, it didn't matter if it was Charvarius Ward or Nick Bosa. It was about Lamar Jackson being unstoppable, and we saw that start to take hold in the second half, especially once the interceptions began to mount for the San Francisco 49ers.
On the other side, though, the worst game we've seen from Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
First Niners quarterback to throw 4 interceptions in a game since 2015. What was it that led to that? Was it him? Was it Baltimore? Was it both?
Listen, you knew coming into this game, these were 2 of the best defenses in football.
Yeah, true.
And Mike McDonald, the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, was going to put pressure on Brock Purdy and try to confuse him on the back end. And sometimes you just run into really good players. You know, when you'd watch Ed Reed or Troy Polamalu, you'd be like, God, Lee, the ball always finds this dude. It's very much like that with Kyle Hamilton. And then you think about the play that Brandon Stevens makes, where it goes to Marlon Humphrey and now Patrick Queen. We did see Brock Purdy get a little shook. We've always seen him compose or seen him be able to be poised in the pocket. He was not that tonight. I feel like the Baltimore Ravens got to him, not only physically, but I think they affected him mentally as well. And we saw him start to wane as this game went on.
It felt like Baltimore didn't go out there just to beat the Niners. They went out there to beat them up.
No, they did. Listen, the Baltimore Ravens like fistfights. You know, like Roquan Smith, I listened to many of his pregame speeches. They're all about violence, right? But that's the same thing we think and feel about the San Francisco 49ers. And it was going to be who could inflict their will on the other team. And we saw the Baltimore Ravens do that. But it's about attacking the head, right? Attacking the head of the snake. And in this particular case, it's Brock Purdy. And they affected Brock Purdy in a way Lamar Jackson was not affected by the San Francisco 49ers. And I think in the end, that's the difference in this game.
Last note I would mention, if the Niners win their last 2 games, Commanders, Rams, they will be the 1 seed in the NFC. So there's some small solace even in the loss.
Playing those Commanders. Watch out.
Saw them yesterday. We'll see.
Squad, though.
Tongue in cheek.